Welcome back. I hope you had a peaceful meditation. We are calm and peaceful souls. So this week I've been talking about this reliance thing and how, in the beginning, God, and to turn to God first in all of our situations. But maybe that implies this idea that, well, we should just lay around in bed all day long and pray and beg and plead and implore for God to fix everything for us. And I certainly don't mean to give that impression. So there's this unusual ratio between what we should be able to do on our own and what we're incapable of doing yet. That might be the key phrase, yet. The Great Serenity Prayer says, give me the courage to change the things that I can. And the wisdom to know the difference between the things that we cannot yet do. So how do we learn this? I'm reminded of that scene in the very first Star Wars, 1977. Were you born yet? Luke was studying with Yoda, and it was his training phase, and Yoda was putting Luke through all of his gyrations and all of his intense trainings to train him to find the Force. Such a beautiful movie. That's why it swept the whole world. Its underlying theme was so archetypical that it was destined to sweep the world. And Yoda wanted to teach Luke to find this Force, this sixth sense that could serve him under all circumstances. But the training was quite rigorous, running with Yoda on his back and doing backflips and running through quicksand and all that kind of hideous stuff. But Luke ended up leaving a little early. He left the training early because he wanted to go save his friends. It was a noble pursuit. But at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, it's been almost 50 years, 45 years, so you probably have seen it. When faced by every dilemma at the end of the movie, trying all of his own skill set as he's driving in his modern fighter plane, trying to shoot the bombs into the Death Star, he finally realizes he doesn't have the answer. And he goes into this beautiful surrender mode. He closes his eyes, he takes his hands off the wheel and just practices connection, trust, faith. He's done everything he can, and a lot of it too. There's a lot of adventures and gyrations in that movie. And that's why we love adventure movies. They include all the trials and tribulations that the hero has got to go through. But it seems as though the hero sooner or later ends up at a moment where, having tried everything on their own accord, they simply must let go. Now, if we haven't done all the rigorous training, letting go is sort of silly, isn't it? It's kind of like, say, your dryer hadn't been working for a couple of weeks and you just kept getting more and more frustrated. So finally, you just decided to sit down by the side of your dryer and pray and meditate for days on end and days on end, just to ask God to fix your dryer. And as you're down there, just deep in contemplation and meditation on your dryer, praying, God, please fix my dryer. Suddenly you look down and you see that it's unplugged. And it's like, well, shoot. And then you just plug it back in. So it's important to have this intuitive sensitivity as to when something can be easily fixed on our own. The answer is always out there. There's not a problem you or I have that somebody else could not solve easily and quickly. Isn't that amazing? But we have to look around. We have to search and seek and play and challenge ourselves. And it's fun to do that when it's fun. But if we don't do it for a long time, there's a great inertia. There's no momentum toward seeking. So problems are hard to find and it takes a long time. But as we become seekers and problem solvers and become solution oriented, not problem oriented, we're so quick and we become so skillful at being able to find the solution to the problem. In our own life, we all have a circle of people that we could ask for help, sort of like being in a movie audience and one of the actors, or a play, and one of the actors suffers a seizure and somebody calls out, is there a doctor in the house? There is. There's a doctor somewhere in your house. There's the solution to every problem. And if we simply seek it out and ask for it, it'll show up. So this day, perhaps we can play with this notion of, where do I just need to relax and to surrender? I legitimately know I've tried everything in my skill set, and ask for that intuitive notion. And where do I clearly know what I can do, or who could I ask, or how could I engage this, and make the process fun and interesting and creative. And then it won't be the miserable burden. It'll be the fun that life was meant to be, the great adventure that it is. Okay, we'll continue on the theme. Have a beautiful day.